Welcome to the first FAQ Friday of 2026, Spring Equinox edition. I can think of no finer day of the year to kick things off. Things are officially in the swing of spring. And I always love this meme too, because this year's weather has been exceptionally bizarre for everybody around the country. So, get used to if there's a few more actual spring, a few more seasons between now and actual spring, but that's fine. Don't worry about
So
it.
true, so true.
All right. We've got our agenda here. We're gonna have a couple introductions. Ryan for one. I don't know if we're gonna have Brock. I think he's in
I think
Cancun,
Brock is
right?
traveling today, but we can make fun of him while he's not here.
We'll give you a teaser for next time before you see Brock. Got some cool stuff about the rep portal, some other processes and updates, and yeah, just some news that'll help you sell more solar and get out there. So
Right.
without further ado, or we'll let Ryan introduce himself after we tease Brock a little bit. So Brock.
Yeah.
If you haven't met him, Brock's a longtime friend of the fam. Goes back with the Geetses very long time. Andy, you've been working with him for a while now. What can we say about Brock, whether or not he's present?
Yeah, no, Brock is great. He's really grown into the solar industry in a huge way. Many years ago, I don't know, probably like 7 or 8 years ago, he came to me and was like, "Hey, can you teach me how to sell solar?" I put him through the ringer. He fell on his face a bunch of times, and then a couple of years after that, turned around and started one of the largest sales orgs around, made a whole bunch of money, was very successful. But then, like a lot of us on this call, have been on the solar coaster, riding it like crazy, wondering what we were going to do next. And we decided to partner up, and now we're working together on this ESP Direct and QNTUM project that we're all putting together here. But Brock's a great guy. He's a wealth of knowledge, and he's held just about every role in this industry, similar to me, from knocking doors, generating leads, to being in the home selling, to managing teams, to building teams. He's been on roofs. So if you got questions about all kinds and all things solar, and solar sales, he's a good one to ask. So stay tuned, watch this space. See him soon. Ryan,
Absolutely.
hi, bud.
Ryan.
Hi.
What's crack-a-lackin'? Introduce
Oh,
yourself.
just good to be here with you guys. Like the vibes. Like the should have brought my glow sticks for how we kick this off.
Right, right. We gotta get
Uh,
going. It's Friday.
yeah, it's awesome. No, good to be with you guys. Hopefully we can contribute to adding a lot of value on this in the future calls. So here
I,
we are.
I think so. I mean, I think you already have. Yeah, Ryan. Just in the brief time that we've worked together, I really enjoy what Ryan brings to the table as far as just like leadership, but also but just vibes in general, man. I think you're a really sharp guy, but you're also really positive. So excellent to have you on the team as a leader. And yeah, you. I mean, I put just a couple of bullets under where you've come from. You may have heard of such, solar companies as Blue Raven or Encore. Maybe, I don't know, that just a couple of the largest in the country. That's fine, whatever. So, yeah, no, we're lucky to have you. So appreciate your
Yeah.
time
Well, thanks, man. Thanks for being good to be here.
for sure. And expect to see, yeah, more of these folks in the future. We're gonna start off as we always do with a couple of our fast, clean, and green installs from the last week or so. Had this nice big system, 12 kilowatts and a Tesla, with just 34 days from site survey to install complete. And not to be outdone, we had just a little bit smaller system, but 24 days from site survey to install complete. So we're still cooking out there. We really want to make sure that everybody is having as smooth a process and just, get people through, get them powered and happy. And we do that partially thanks to our new tool called the Rep Portal.
Yay.
Raise your hands or drop in the chat if you've used the Rep Portal to sell a deal within the last few weeks. We really want to make sure everybody is getting familiar with it. We know new things can be scary, but we also want to make sure that we're hearing the feedback that you have for us if there's anything that could be easier, because we're trying to make it as easy as possible, as simple as possible.
Yeah.
Andy, I know you've been, working with the guys, working with the team tirelessly to make sure that everybody's in the portal and using it and everything. What do you got to say?
It's an upgrade from QuickBase, that's for sure. And so that was the main reason for it. It moves really quickly. The user interface is pretty awesome. You can actually access your jobs really quickly and see what's going on with your projects. One of the things that you can see on the screen here is we've got a couple different new ways to verify who you are and in compliance with the CSLB and amongst other things. I just wanted to make sure that everybody was clear on the verification text that is sent to your homeowner right when you sell the job. So the homeowner gets a text. It's that first little spot right here over on the left with a link that they click on it. Then they get this, it takes them to this customer verification link. And there's a little blue button down there at the bottom. You click that one. It then opens up the page to see your face or a picture of who you are and some details about your project along the way. And if your homeowner says, yes, that was you, Andy, who sold this deal, they click yes, and the verification is successful, and you can book your site survey directly in the rep portal. So 3 clicks, 1 from the text, 2 to start the confirmation, and 3 to confirm you are who you are. So it's super easy. It's basic. No crazy invasive questions of like, hey, in order to do this solar project, I'm going to need your firstborn child. Nothing like that. Nothing too crazy. No credit cards need to be given or anything wild like that, guys. This is just to verify who you are and to be in compliance with the California State License Board. That's it. This will evolve. This will become a new thing because our industry is getting more and more mature, which is a good thing. It means it'll be easier for you guys to be able to sell out there. It will be more regulated, and this is just one of the ways that we can do it to make sure that you guys look really good in the home. Use this to your advantage. Solidify the deal using this, saying like, hey, if the other guys aren't doing something like this, I would have questions about it. So use this to your advantage.
For sure, yeah. And so just to reiterate, we will send out the videos that we've made of the process that you will see as a rep. We'll send out all of those just as a reminder of what to look for. And the step that you will see and maybe won't know what's happening, it'll say waiting for customer verification. That's where this comes in. So make sure your homeowner looks for their text from the 424 number.
Yeah.
Double check. There's spam folders on phones now in text messages. So if it went there, check that, just be aware of it. Good reminder from Jordan here. You can upload a photo of yourself in the rep portal. We highly encourage that, because otherwise this little screenshot right here is just going to be like your initials or whatever. So always a good idea, just for, again, that professional appearance. You are who you say you are. Even if you're doing this virtually and maybe you've only done it over the phone, maybe you've never talked to this person, even just showing that you have, like, hey, yeah, that guy sounds like the guy that I talked to on the phone. Something like that is always going to be a better experience for the homeowner, just to verify that. So, but yeah, keep an eye out on your texts. We'll send out the recap or the reminders of how all this looks, and we'll continue to add to it. We want to make sure that you know what you're looking at before you go into the home, because that's a really common thing. We're getting, messages. Andy, you got one the other day of, hey, I'm selling the customer right now, but I don't know what's happening. So
yeah.
Look ahead.
Key thing here is this text and this verification unlocks the ability to schedule the site survey.
Correct.
And you can do it right there then in the home. A little calendar will pop up, and we'll send out those videos again to show exactly what it is, so we don't have to run through them right now on this call. But it's pretty basic, guys and gals out there. Once this gets verified, the calendar pops up. You can then choose a site survey, and we're running anywhere from 1 to 3 days right now, depending on where you are. in the California or the Texas markets, but things are moving pretty quickly now. And then just one other thing to add on to the those fast installs back there. Using this process helps things move quicker, right? Using this process helps you get clean installs or clean submissions. And using this process will help things move faster through the pipeline. So keep that in mind as you're talking to your friends and colleagues and everybody else out there. Cool.
Ryan, did you want to add something?
No, sounds perfect. Super simple. But yeah, we've talked about it. Obviously, the better that we can do from a sales organization and getting to NTP lock, you know, statistically, if we don't get it early on, those accounts go to die. It's not like eventually we catch up to it and then all of a sudden at some point it magically kind of resolves itself. They statistically go to die. And so hopefully we can always have that in the back of our minds that, hey, you know what, my job is to get it to NTP lock. That allows sales or allows the ops team to take that baton and then run with it. So
Yeah.
and then we're aligning with that, right? Like a lot of the cost benefits, the pricing benefits that we get with red lines are contingent upon that. Because once again, we want to arm you guys with everything that you need to be empowered, and that controls your own destiny. It doesn't matter at that point. Like maybe we slip up a little bit occasionally with ops from time to time, but you guys are still getting that full benefit when it comes to the pricing structures and the fundings that you would receive. So anyway, yeah, let's do our job. Let's look smelling like a rose, and then we can demand greatness from the other side of the aisle.
I love it. I love it. I'm glad you said NTP lock because that's going to come up later. So it's almost like you've maybe seen these slides before as like a teaser or something like that. Yes. Speaking of things evolving and getting better, we mentioned that the verification steps are basically, I mean, this is dependent on all of the lenders in the industry, all the different, financial models. Everybody's asking for extra verification, extra security that things aren't being done kind of shadily or what have you. So we're going to be introducing something called Pruvex, and it is a really cool enhancement in my mind. Actually, it's a virtual compliance call. This is going to be in addition to our welcome call or anything that the lender may have on their specific requirements. But the idea is basically we are securing that sale for you in the customer's mind. That's how I look at it. This should be a confidence builder, like Andy, you said. Like we want to make sure that the customer is going to see this and say, "Oh wow, yeah, these guys are really dialed in." The other guy that I was talking to just like scribbled it on a napkin and said he'd be back in a week. No, this is fully, like this is a closing assistant, not a hurdle that somebody has to clear, something annoying. It's an enhancement. So
Yeah. I'm looking forward to this too. It will not replace the lender welcome calls, but it will be stepping in as the ESP's welcome call or verification text and anything. So this is going to simplify again the process. I went through a little teaser of it the other day and it actually worked really slick. I did it on my computer. Again, it's going to be like one of those visual things with your face on it or on your handheld phone. It's going to have your face on there and you're just going to answer a couple questions. How many panels did you have? Those kind of things like this. Are you Andy Schwartz? Yes, I am. All right, cool. Pass, thumbs up, rock and roll. But this will roll out very soon. We'll send out some tutorials and videos and make sure that everybody knows exactly how it works and what to do and when and how to do it.
Yep.
So watch this space again.
yes, indeed. All right. Another thing coming soon, Terros. Ryan, you've had a lot of experience with this. I know Andy and I have had a little bit. Do you want to say what can you say about Terros?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's nothing earth-shattering about a canvassing app, right? A lot of it has the same components. Cool, I can
What?
disposition. I can disposition. Yeah, no, just trust me here. A lot of the components are the same, right? You're going to be able to disposition a lead. You're going to be able to track and work through your area. A lot of that stuff will be the same. The differentiator here, and this is what really what really sold me is they're incorporating, if you've ever seen the movie Moneyball, they're incorporating a lot of this kind of like money ball philosophy with it. And what it means is that with you guys, we're able to set up basically some metrics that are really critical in order for us to see the performance of new reps, as well as seasoned reps, and the consistency. And if a metric is ever waning, if conversion's ever struggling, if we're ever noticing a lack of activity, it can prompt leadership to be able to support reps in that cause, which I think is super cool. I mean, even for me in my early days in selling, you know, I'd been at it for, you know, 2 or 3 years. At that point, I was an expert. But you would still find sometimes when you would go through a little bit of a lull, a little bit of a slump, and you almost didn't really know why, and almost it sneaks up on you, and you don't quite realize it until you're kind of in the middle of it. And so this just allows for us to always be looking at the data, you know, not just performance when it comes to closed deals, but the lead measures, right? The data that we can measure, that tells a story of what is to come. And if those things are off, that's where you're able to truly troubleshoot and see where the issue lies. And so I think those parts are really great. There's additional features that we can always tap into. If you guys have ever seen, oh man, I just spaced the name of it, but there's a separate app out there that allows for there to be recordings of conversations that they can dictate, you know, and basically, you know, spell out word for word, whatever, whatever that conversation is. And then what we can do is through the app, it can actually leverage AI to know what are those components within a sales pitch that are absolutely critical, and where did it miss, and how can we score that to know if it was a good or a bad pitch, but then be able to troubleshoot it. So this is really awesome. I always say that there's 2 people that will really benefit from this. Number 1 is when you're brand new. Number 2 is when you're seasoned and you get a little lazy. And what I mean by that is you get to a point sometimes you're like, this is my 9,000th in-home consultation. This is my 10 millionth door. I just kind of sometimes want to go up and go, do you guys want it or not? You know, and it will help kind of work through some of that stuff, because we're missing absolutely critical components within the sales psychology, and this kind of helps work through it. So yeah, there's a lot of things that we'll tap into from time to time, but just once again, another arrow in your quiver, another way to arm you guys with information to help you guys close more.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Reach out to your managers, or if you are managers or owners or team leaders, reach out to me, let me know, and we can get you set up on this in the next coming week or so. One of the things that I love the most about it is just like the gamification aspect of it, of being able to compete, be able to compete with each other, be able to compete with yourself, know when you're doing better or not. And speaking of gamification, we got some new swag. So we got a couple new hats out here. The one that I have on right here.
Andy, hold on. I'm going to stop sharing so that we can get a zoom in on your screen.
There we go. We got this new white and we got this new blackout style hat, which is kind of fun. It's the branded bills, powered by ESPs, sponsored by QCells. First deal that lands in the platform today. Shoot me a text as soon as you drop your first deal in, and I will mail you one of these hats. They're pretty cool. They fit great. They feel good. I kind of dig them. I'm into them. But we'll do that today.
Great.
We'll continue.
Important, Andy. You look incredible in it.
That's what I was fishing for. You know, I like to throw it out there and kind of reel that back in. Thanks, Ryan. You look pretty hot too. Okay, moving on.
I'm not even a hat guy, and I think they look fresh to death. I love it. All right, cool. I'm trying to withhold my nostalgia because I see one of our webinar guests, Andrew, Mr. G. I remember back in the day we were out in the cold in Idaho I started with pen and paper, and then I think we upgraded to Spotio. So I'm just going back to this, but like, yeah, as far as knocking apps go, yeah, whatever, it's fine. But the other thing that's really cool about this, I think we kind of touched on, is you can do that real-time coaching. How awesome would it be as a new guy or even as a manager to be able to talk to your new guys without it having to go out into, the blazing sun or the freezing cold and just be like, hey, I just listened to your last pitch. I wanted to give you a couple of pieces of feedback, help you improve on your next one. So you can kind of catch that real time. Anyway,
Yeah.
had to drop that in.
Love it.
Okay. All righty, here is an update that we have for you. We've had some versions of this over the years, and you may remember such things as advocacy team, or I think there were a couple other names that we called it, retention, what have you. This is basically like we talked about, like Ryan, this is our NTP lock coming back in. We really want to keep these jobs moving as fast as possible, as early as possible, so that they don't die, because they will die. So. In the past, I think we've been a little bit lax, truthfully. We let things kind of go for a few weeks at a time. And that really just was never a solution. That never ended well for customers or for reps. So we are being more proactive with this protocol. We'll have some more breakdown of this, more videos kind of explaining it. But basically, your number one job in that first week, get to NTP lock. Make sure you've cleared all your steps. Again, using the rep portal, we've tried to make it as easy as possible by linking to lender portals and showing you, hey, you're missing, XYZ, whatever, if it's a utility bill or if they need a driver's license, whatever, that kind of stuff. So in advance what you need to do to get it to keep moving. And you can always connect with your project manager as well through the rep portal to ask, hey, is there something I'm missing? I'm not seeing the schedule sites over. Can you give me a hint? But we really just want to make it, again, as smooth as possible to get out of that at-risk window in that first week and just keep things moving.
That's right.
This is the reality, guys, is from my experience and data that I've looked at for years and years and years, if it is hanging out there even longer than 5 days, 5 days, it statistically will go and die. So that's why that ask at-risk window is 7 days. It's because we're like, okay, cool. We'll maybe give a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. But the only intention that we have here is that we can just get this stuff buttoned up as quickly as possible. We've got a team also on the ESP side that is going to also behind the scenes be doing whatever we can to help with this too. So it's not just you guys, but guys, we don't want them to touch it. This is all on us. Everything is within our realm of control. And so we just got to really be focused on it. I know that a lot of times a salesperson goes, you know what? If it happens, it happens. On to the next. It's just missed opportunities. So let's just try to get it buttoned up early on, and then we never have to worry about it.
Yeah. I think the key thing for me has always been notifications and triggers and communication, right? So let's just say something happens along the way and that job does have a stipulation. We're going to notify you 2 to 3 times between that first 7 days to let you know what you need to do in order to move that job forward. Obviously, then if nothing happens or you don't notify us, then we're going to be moving into that second phase of the 8 to 14 days, and there will be a fee. It'll be a small fee, and it probably won't make that much of a difference to you, but we're going to be taking care of that for you. And then obviously after that 14th day, we assume the job has been abandoned. And that's even almost too long, like Ryan said. Like after 5 days, a lot of these things don't come back from the dead. But we're going to give everybody enough time to make sure that they can get that thing saved, get that thing done, because this truly is just about realization and pull through and making sure that the job that you do sell gets built and everybody wins. That's really all this is about. Other than that, this is just business, and it's business as usual. So congratulations on working with us.
You've already made the best first choice you can by tuning in to this webinar today and selling your first deal to get that hat that Andy promised you.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right. Okay. Now on to a couple updates that we really wanted to make sure you knew about. ENFIN, we announced this the other day. Their pricing just updated as promised. We had the call with them back in December. They said there was new pricing coming. Get it while it's hot. It just dropped off the griddle. Run all those deals, again, make those comparisons for yourself. You'll be able to see pretty clearly that it's a pretty advantageous especially paired with we got the new Q-Cell 430 watt that just
Yep.
dropped, and that's going to be paired with Powerwalls. Powerwall still has a promo, and ENFIN's dropping their own promo on top of it. So if you get 3 NTPs, they will give you 250 per sale, and any going forward after that. So it's a minimum of $750 after you get 3 NTPs, and then you can keep going from there. So
Yeah. Best part about this is you don't really have to do anything. It's just except
stuff.
sell 3 deals. That's it. Everything matches up, pairs up, all the panels pair up as well. So all you're doing is just selling 3 ENFIN jobs. Their pricing is bonkers right now, by the way. So make sure you go into Aurora as soon as possible and confirm all the pricing on those jobs that you're selling. Trust me, you will be happy. So give it a shot. Most likely this will be a gift card that is sent to you. You do not need to do anything. ESP doesn't necessarily even need to do anything along the way. You will be registered along the way, and you will receive a gift card in the mail. You'll probably receive some communications after your 3rd deal from ENFIN directly. And they'll get your address, and most likely it'll even be like an electronic gift card. I would not be surprised if that's how it ended up.
Jordan wanted me to remind everybody that we didn't just get this pricing magically. We did communicate with ENFIN, and we contributed kind of by working together with them. That's why this pricing is so good. So it's not just something that's the benefits rolling in. So again, the benefit of you working with ESP and allowing us to have such strong relationships with our lender partners like ENFIN, we're going to continue to be unmatched in the industry. So thank you for the reminder, Jordan. Appreciate you.
Yeah, super cool thing that
He
ESP
didn't need to be a panelist. He's
Yeah.
just guiding us from the background. That's great. That's all
A
we need.
lot of things are changing in the industry right now with domestic content and fiat and all kinds of different safe harboring things. And so it's unlocking some stuff to be shared with not only you, the reps out there, but also the homeowners. And it truly is a win-win-win because we get to offer you guys some incredible pricing. You get to offer your homeowners some incredible pricing, and we all get to win and get jobs built quickly.
And cutting edge products too. The 430 watt AC mods. Those are sweet, man. Those are great.
Yeah,
Great
looking
products.
good.
Okay. GoodLeap, one of our other partners, they also had some updates. They also had some pricing changes, maybe in a different direction. We are agnostic, and we will always let you make the decision by running a comparison for yourself. One of the things that we did have to introduce is a 15-cent adder, just because there's a lot more complexity, and we have to be able to cover our additional project management costs on these. So keep that in mind. All the last few newsletters that we've sent out have had reminders of the breakdown of everything that changed with their new NTP Recs, U bills, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Do the comparisons. That's the key thing here. Just compare apples to apples, because now it's apples to pineapples. So you do the math, and the math will tell you which way you will lean.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, that's all we had today. I dropped a little thing to think about. I saw that I can't remember, somebody on Instagram had a reel that I heard in the background, and I was like, I like that. I'm gonna steal that. Can't finish a 500-piece puzzle by looking at it. Action is always the antidote. So if you're ever the gist of it is, if you're ever feeling like you're in a slump, or if you're ever just like, getting stuck in that analysis paralysis of like, if I just strategize a little bit longer, or if I just let things play out a little bit, and then it'll be perfect, and I'll be able to achieve, whatever my goals are. That doesn't happen. That when does that happen? It's an illusion if you think that you can plan away every variable that's going to get in your way. So just want to drop that in there.
I love somebody on the gram.
Somebody on the gram. I was too lazy to get their handle. I can't remember.
Hey guys, before we close out, can I give one more thing that I think kind of hot off the press, just something important. Coming from the QNTUM side, and once again our desire to continue to add more opportunity for you guys, right now with roofing, but hopefully soon enough with other products and services that just arm you guys with more opportunities. One of the things that I think sometimes has been a little unclear is how we interact with subs. A lot of times you guys might know someone or a group out there that you think is really awesome. And most of the time, if you're a salesperson, the reason you think they're really awesome is because they're cheap. And, I think that that's a lot of times what we have as salespeople. We have really two requirements. Can they do a roof? And are they cheap? And there's components to that I think are really critical for us to make sure that when we take on, a solar job with a roof attachment, we kind of own all of that, right? And so one of the things that I've since learned has not been crystal clear is that we really want to make sure that if we are going to use a roofing partner, that they have been able to go through the process with us in being properly vetted and onboarded. And all that does is it protects us. It protects the homeowner. Just make sure that we're always doing quality work. At the end of the day, the homeowner is going to hold us accountable to all of it, and we are accountable to all of it from a legality standpoint, from a pricing standpoint. So if you guys do have groups, great, send them over. I will say that oftentimes, as we get a chance to look under the hood with some of these groups, they aren't quite as buttoned up as we would like. And so sometimes they get DQ'd. Also, don't be surprised that if we hook them in and that pricing isn't as good as this like side pricing that you had at one point, because we do have a very small margin that we take on, and that's just to be able to facilitate some of our warranties. That's able to facilitate sometimes things if they go wayside. There's also sometimes things that we do in there where we bake in a little extra pricing so we don't have to do change orders. To give you an example, there's a big player out there in the space that does a lot of roofs for a lot of solar companies. They have on average about an 82% change order rate. And you guys know that sucks because we get in there, we sell it, close down, and then we find, after it's already been buttoned up, oh my gosh, there's all these change orders and whatnot. So sometimes if there's just little material things that we can bake into some of that allows for us to not to have change orders. To compare that with us, we have on average 7% change orders. So just goes to show the difference. And that is just a lot of times the difference between us having a deal go wayside or not. So we really want to have that stuff buttoned up. And, this is another big reason why we are having this FAQ Friday is we want to consistently just communicate things as they are, get it right out there in the open. You guys understand the rules of the game. So that way, I think most of us are okay playing the game as long as we know the rules beforehand. And so those are just some interesting or some important components. Last thing I'll say that if you guys have an interest in slinging roof only, reach out to me. We've already had some groups who have done that. Please talk to us. We'll make sure that you have access to the right portal to be able to pull that off. So you can just email me at ryan@QNTUM, or you guys can text me too, 208-830-4664. If there's a way to drop it in a chat or whatnot, please do that.
Careful, Ryan. Giving away.
I'm good with it. I'm good with it. Bring it on. Bring it on.
Nice.
Yeah, bring it on. And we're just here to help facilitate any of those types of things. I've been able to connect with some of you guys, and it's been really awesome. So anyway, just wanted to go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to say I'm glad you touched on this because I saw an email from Jeremiah just recently that and I don't know if everybody is totally fully clear that ESP roofing is now part of QNTUM, right? And kind of how that relationship works. Can we talk about that a little bit just to sort of in case anybody else needs that news?
Well, yeah, we want to have a clear distinction between ESP and now the home services vertical, and we're saying that intentionally. This is the first iteration with the intention to eventually add additional components to the home services network. And so we really want to start to build that brand as a thing, especially because that brand is going nationwide. And so Energy Service Partners Roofing doesn't quite make a lot of sense, right?
Doesn't roll off the tongue for you. I don't know.
Well, as much as we love it, there's not a lot of energy in a roof, right? So anyway, so that's what we've done, and we'll continue to leverage that brand to hopefully, like I said, take it nationwide. But that you guys will still continually be able to really benefit from a lot of what we're doing on that side. So anyway,
Good
Awesome.
stuff.
and see
that.
Beautifully done. All right. Well, great. We've got maybe a couple minutes if anybody has any Q&A. Hope everybody has an awesome weekend. Weather looks like it'll be maybe less crazy, so fingers crossed. I don't know. Yeah.
I did see something that I wanted to mention on the news today. Lots of stuff's happening in the world right now. Just turn on the TV or look out your window. Things are happening, right? One of those things that is happening is causing the cost of energy to go up, the cost of electricity specifically, along with gas. They're saying that the cost of electricity is going to increase this year more than it ever has. That's a crazy thing to say.
Because it already has.
Because it already has done that a number of times. I've been in the solar space and the energy space for 17 years now. I've seen the cost of electricity go through the roof multiple times, and it's happening again. Does it ever come down? It doesn't ever seem to. In fact, it never really has. And so use this maybe not as a fear part of your sales pitch, but an informational piece of your pitch, right? Use this information to share with your homeowners and let them know what's going on in the world and what's about to happen. This is about taking control of something that you haven't before. The cost of electricity is going to go up like crazy this year. Just watch.
If
And
you,
so
if you
use
don't
this
already,
information.
yes. Yes, use the information. If you're not already driving an EV, you might be thinking about it pretty regularly these days. So
Yeah.
best way to run that EV is with solar if you don't already have solar as well. So, and the best way to protect yourself from grid instability is with a battery, a backup battery. So all of these are just kind of observations. It's not fear. It's not, you don't have to be like, oh my gosh, they're taking the grid down or anything. You got to get, no, it's just, hey, look, your bill's going up, your gas price is going up. There's solutions that we are here to implement for you.
So true. Knowledge is power, everybody. On that note as well, FAQ Fridays coming back. We'll probably be doing this every other week or so, at the very least once a month, to give you all the information you do need and want to know as we move forward into springtime, which starts today. Let's go. And then into summer. Looking forward to working with everybody else out there. Again, if you want a hat, sell a deal, shoot me a text. I'll send you one. Thanks, everybody.
Love it. Hey, Andy, before we go, I don't know, are there any prepaid PPA options? I know that we have talked about it. Do we have any updates on it? We're still just kind of looking at the playing field. Is that
coming soon to a theater near you for sure.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, we're vetting a number of them right now. It's there's a lot to it, right? More than just to think. So we're doing our due diligence, and we're not just choosing Everbright, or not Everbright, but a bunch of the different players out there who are deciding not to like do solar right now. So there's a lot of stuff happening in the space. So watch this space.
Possibly on a future FAQ Friday. So
yeah, exactly.
Tune in next time or another time after that. We'll let you know.
Yeah. Bye, guys. Thanks.
Hey, thanks everybody. Thanks, Ryan. See ya.